This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Friday, March 25. In Squiz Kids Today, Kakadu returned to Aboriginal owners. No school for Afghan girls. The possum rescued at sea, and why we all need to fart. That's what's making news, kid style.
The lowdown.
It was an historic day in the Kakadu National Park yesterday, as nearly half of the world-famous park was handed back to its Aboriginal traditional owners. The Kakadu is one of the most famous national parks in Australia, and indeed the world. Located in the Northern Territory, about an hour's drive from the capital Darwin, it's a magical place of soaring red cliffs, picturesque waterfalls, and beautiful billabongs filled with lily pads, brolgas, and crocodiles. It's one of the most visited tourist attractions in the Northern Territory, and yesterday it was handed back to its traditional owners. What does that mean exactly? It means that instead of the park being the property of the NT government, it will once again belong to the people who have lived there for more than 60,000 years. It means that those traditional owners will now have a greater say in how the park is managed. So what does that mean for people like you or I who might want to visit the park one day and take in all of the amazing nature it has to offer? Well, the park will continue to be open to visitors, with it being jointly managed now by Parks Australia and traditional owners. Because who doesn't want the chance to smile at a crocodile?
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Afghanistan, where thousands and thousands of girls showed up to school yesterday, but were told to go home. You might remember that last August the Taliban, a religious group known for its very strict interpretation of Islamic law, took over Afghanistan. The last time the Taliban ruled Afghanistan, from 1996 to 2001, they did not allow any girls to go to school, nor did they allow women to have jobs. Since August, the Taliban have allowed primary schools to remain open to girls, and they had promised that from yesterday girls aged 11 and over would be allowed to go back to high school, but now they've broken that promise. Girls who had woken up yesterday with excitement to see their friends at school were sent back home in tears. Now, you might grumble sometimes about having to get up and go to school. Who doesn't? But maybe next time stop for a moment and think about how lucky you are to even have that opportunity. Oh, what's that? It's the Classroom Companion Clarion. If you're a Squiz Kids for Schools member, you'll be reflecting on this story and learning more about the rich cuisine of Afghanistan in your classroom activities today. Because there's more to every country than one single story. If you're not a member of Squiz Kids for Schools, there's a link in your episode notes to a free 30-day trial.
Animal Kingdom.
Possums being rescued. Not such a big news story, right? But a possum needing to be rescued at sea? Now that needs a closer look. A scuba diving instructor from Portsea in Victoria couldn't quite believe his ears when he got a call to head out to sea and retrieve a possum that was clinging to a buoy. And when I say buoy, I mean B-U-O-Y, an anchored float, not a small person of the male variety. The diving instructor approached the waterlogged marsupial very carefully, snatched it up in a net and took it back to shore to set it free. He reckoned it had probably been hiding out on someone's boat while it was tied up to a jetty, and that it had gotten a fright and jumped off into the water when the boat started to move away. Possum Sea Patrol. It's officially a thing. And of course, there's a link to a video of the poor possum clinging to a buoy in today's episode notes.
Pop Culture Corner.
A Brazilian pop star has gone viral on the internet after sharing an Instagram post urging girls to fart. Yes, it must be a Friday. There's a fart story. Brazilian pop star Poca urged her 15 million Instagram followers to break wind whenever they felt the need, to not hold it in. Because she had held it in for too long and gotten so sick in her stomach that she'd had to be taken to hospital. Oh dear. Poca said she had been reluctant to fart in front of her boyfriend, but added that flatulence was a natural body function and that everyone does it. And look, that may be as such, but that's not an invitation to let rip wherever and whenever you like. For the sake of every adult listening with you right now, be they a teacher or a parent, try to exercise a little bit of self-control, please. Thank you very much.
Time for the Squiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Which country has banned girls from going to school? That's right, it's Afghanistan. Question number 2. What sort of animal had to be rescued floating on a buoy at sea? Yeah, that's right, it was a possum. Question number 3. What did a Brazilian pop star urge her Instagram followers to do so that they don't get a sore tummy? Yes, that's right. Fart.
Shout outs.
It's March 25, and a very happy Greek Independence Day to the 500,000 Aussies with Greek heritage. As luck would have it, Amanda's just taken a virtual trip to Greece in this week's Squiz the World, a new subscriber segment where each week we take a 10-minute audio excursion to a different country on the globe. Available as part of your Squiz Kids for Schools subscription or to families who have signed up to our Apple Podcast subscriber specials. Not a member? Jump into a free 30-day trial, links in today's episode notes. It's also a Friday, and you know what that means. A great excuse to crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it! And it's a happy birthday to these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Daniel from Craigburn, Taylor from Windsor, Byron from Orange, Chu from Rouse Hill, Joshy from Colby, Robert from Kellyville, Percy from Corindai, Ethan from Yarrawonga, Logan from Adelaide, and Isaac from Albany Creek. Not forgetting, of course, those Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday over the coming weekend. Matthew and Chloe from Forest Lake, Rosalie and Pia from Corindai, Mason from Kempsey, Lucas from Queanbeyan South, Hunter from Gladstone, Naomi from Rochdale South, and Max from Westside Christian College. And whilst we don't usually give classroom shout-outs on a Friday, we had 2 special requests today, and who am I to turn down a special request? Happy birthday to Year 2 teacher, Mrs. Koloff at Oxford Falls Grammar, and a shout-out to Miss Reeves from Corindai Public School, who's getting married this Saturday. Congratulations, Miss Reeves. I expect my invitation must be in the post, yes? Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again on Monday. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent weekend. Over and out.